Amidst the gnarled trees, the abandoned house stood like a silent sentinel, its windows gaping like hollow eyes, beckoning those foolish enough to venture inside. The house looked harmless enough from the outside. It was a two-story brick building with a faded red roof and a cracked porch. The windows were boarded up, but there was a sign that said, "For sale," on the front lawn. It had been on the market for years, but no one ever showed any interest in buying it. That's why Jake and his friends decided to explore it one night. They were bored. Teenagers, looking for some thrill and adventure. They'd had heard rumors that the house was haunted by the ghosts of the previous owners, who had died in a mysterious fire. They wanted to see if they could find any evidence of the paranormal, or at least scare themselves silly. They parked their car a few blocks away and walked to the house with flashlights and backpacks. They climbed over the fence and approached the front door. Jake tried the knob, but it was locked. He kicked the door with his foot, but it didn't budge. He looked around and saw a window on the side of the house that was not boarded up. He motioned to his friends to follow him. They crawled through the window and entered the house. The inside was dark and dusty, with cobwebs and debris everywhere. They shone their flashlights around and saw a living room with a fireplace, a sofa, a coffee table, and a TV. There were also some family photos on the wall, but they were too faded to make out the faces. "Wow, this place is creepy," Jake said. "Let's split up and look around. Maybe we'll find something interesting." "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Amy asked. She was the only girl in the group and the most nervous. She didn't like the idea of being alone in a haunted house. "Don't worry, it's just a house," Jake said. "Nothing's gonna happen. We'll meet back here in half an hour, okay?" "Okay," Amy said reluctantly. She followed Jake as he handed out walkie-talkies to each of them, but be careful, guys, and stay in touch. They agreed and went their separate ways. Jake went upstairs. Amy went to the kitchen, Matt went to the basement, and Ryan went to the backyard. They turned on their walkie-talkies and kept in contact as they explored the house. Jake found a bedroom with a bed, a closet, a dresser, and a mirror. He opened the closet and saw some clothes hanging inside. He pulled out a shirt and looked at the label. It said John Smith. He wondered who John Smith was and what had happened to him. He put the shirt back and closed the closet. He walked to the dresser and opened the drawers. He found some socks, underwear, and a wallet. He opened the wallet and saw some cash, credit cards, and a driver's license. The license had a picture of a man with brown hair and blue eyes. The name on the license was also John Smith. Jake guessed that this was the owner of the house, or at least one of them. He put the wallet back and closed the drawer. He walked to the mirror and looked at himself. He smiled and made a face. He was about to leave the room when he heard a voice behind him. "Hello, Jake." Jake turned around and saw a man standing in the doorway. He was wearing a shirt that said John Smith. He had brown hair and blue eyes. He looked exactly like the picture on the license. "Who are you?" Jake asked, startled. "I'm John Smith," the man said, "and this is my house." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. He realized that he was face to face with a ghost. Jake was paralyzed with fear. He couldn't believe that he was talking to a ghost. He wanted to run away, but his legs wouldn't move. He wanted to scream, but his mouth wouldn't open. He wanted to wake up, but he knew this was not a dream. "What do you want from me?" Jake managed to say. "I want you to stay with me," John Smith said. "Forever. Stay with you. Forever." Jake repeated, confused. Yes, Jake. You see, I've been lonely for a long time. Ever since the fire that killed me and my family. I've been trapped in this house, unable to move on. I've been waiting for someone to come and keep me company. Someone like you. Someone like me? Jake asked. Yes, Jake. You're perfect for me. You have the same name as my son. You have the same age as my son. You have the same face as my son. You are my son, Jake. You are my son. Jake felt a surge of horror. He realized that John Smith was not only a ghost, but a mad ghost, a ghost who had lost his mind and his memory, a ghost who had mistaken him for his dead son. No, 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 Jake said, shaking his head. You're wrong. You're crazy. I'm not your son. I'm not Jake Smith. I'm Jake Jones. I have a different family. I have a different life. You're not my father. You're not my father. You're not my father. You're not my father. John Smith smiled and reached out his hand. Don't be afraid, Jake. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make you happy. Come with me to the other side. Come with me to the other side. Come with me to the afterlife. Jake felt a cold touch on his shoulder. He looked and saw John Smith's hand on him. He felt a jolt of pain in his chest. He felt his heart stop beating. He felt his breath stop flowing. He felt his life slip away. He was dead. John Smith hugged him and whispered in his ear, "Welcome home, Jake. Welcome home." Hope you liked the story. Subscribe to Ghoulish Stories to listen to more spine-chilling horror stories. Thanks.